Hi, this is Gina at Art of Skincare, and today I'm making a video for you, a tutorial on using the Illuminare foundation. It comes in three consistencies. So we have concealing, we have moisturizing, and we have mattifying. And I want to share with you how I use these because it is such a beautiful makeup. I know that sometimes my clients are a little intimidated when they first get it. They have a little bit of trouble with it. So I want to show you how to get the best results so that you fall in love with it. I want to tell you right off the bat that don't be hard on yourself. The first 2 or 3 days that you use it and you're getting used to it, it may not be exactly perfect. But by the end of the week, if you stick with it, your skin is going to look beautiful. Your makeup will look like you're not even wearing makeup. What my clients often say about Illuminare is that they look just like themselves, only better. So Illuminare foundation is a liquid mineral makeup. That means it's providing some nice SPF value. It has an SPF of 20. So if you're mixing it with your other SPFs, it's going to give you very good protection on the skin, especially if you're prone to hyperpigmentation. The other nice thing about a liquid mineral versus a powder mineral is that it's much more forgiving when it comes to texture. Most people, if you're over 40, do not do well with a powder mineral makeup. The powdered minerals will collect on the skin in the areas where you have wrinkles and lines, and it makes that texture look more rough. So it actually makes your skin look older. So when you have the liquid mineral makeup, it does not do that. It's more gentle to those lines and areas of your face, so your skin looks more youthful. You can have that glowy finish that I love, that really minimizes those fine lines. Or if you're a little oilier and you don't want so much shine, there's a wonderful mattifying finish that you can use. So let me show you real quickly here. This is the moisturizing finish. It's the easiest one to get started with. It's in the blue container. And even if you think you're a little bit oilier or you think you might want more coverage, start with this blue container because it's the easiest one to work with, and you'll really develop your skills and get better and better. Then the next formula to use is that mattifying formula. The mattifying formula is waterproof. So it will stay on through anything. It'll stay on through water if you're swimming. These can also be mixed together. So as you're getting used to using them, you can mix a little of each, put them on, and that's going to give you that a little bit more of a matte finish, but it's also going to make it so your foundation lasts longer. If you find that your moisturizing mineral makeup isn't giving you the staying power that you want, you can mix a little of these two together. That's a common trick that we use. I'm a Portofino porcelain, and this is very common to be a Portofino porcelain in the winter. And then in the summer, I transition into Florentine Fair. So if you're transitioning into summer where your skin's probably more oily, you can actually do what I do is I use the moisturizing finish in Portofino porcelain. Then as summer is coming on, I start mixing in just a little bit of the mattifying in the Florentine Fair, just one shade darker, and I mix them together. You don't have to be real precise because they blend with your own skin tone, and that will just warm it up a little bit, and it'll give me a little bit more matte protection so that when I'm getting sweaty or it's really humid out, I'm going to have more staying power with my makeup. So I'm going to start off by showing you the simplest way to put on an Illuminare foundation. And so today what I've grabbed is our Art of Skincare. This is our Skin Perfection. This is a mineral block and it has a primer in it. It's very moisturizing. What I'm doing now is I'm mixing the foundation. I'm going to mix the moisturizing mineral makeup with my sunscreen. You can mix it with the Skin Perfection. You could mix it with Sorella. You could mix it with any of your sunscreens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put about 1 pump of my Skin Perfection on. Then I'm going to add to it an equal amount of my moisturizing mineral makeup. Then I'm just going to mix them together in my fingers. And I'm going to be putting on layers today so you can see how beautifully this foundation layers. If you feel like you want more coverage from this foundation, all you have to do is add another light layer. Never put on a thick coat to start. Start yourself with nice thin layers and build. So first of all, I'm starting by just mixing these two together. So my sunscreen was a 40, and then I have a 20 in the makeup. So I'm probably coming down to more like around a 30. I don't know how technically sound that is, but combining them together, you're still getting a good SPF value. So you can see I could just go out like this, and on my days off, that's it. I'm gonna go out and play and have some fun. I'm just gonna mix this with my sunscreen. So quick and easy, and now I'm good to go. Now on a day when I wanna have a little more polish or a little more finish, or if you don't want to mix, then what I recommend that you do, first of all, is put on your sunscreen. Always do that. And you wanna make sure that your skin is still moist from your moisturizer and sunscreen, so you have a little bit of a slip feel on the skin. Illuminare makes two foundation brushes. They make this flat brush, which gives you more coverage, and then they make this flat top, which gives you a bit of a sheerer finish. Now we also have a pad. The pad is going to give you the most matte finish. I'm just going to start with this one right here. I have one layer on already. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some dots of this on here. Now, if I wanted to warm this up, I could take a little bit of Florentine Fair and just add a couple drops. In fact, I will. This is the mattifying finish in Florentine Fair, so that's one shade darker. And I just added a little bit of that onto there. So I have a little mixture. This is just how easy it is. I just want to show you how easy and you can play with it. Now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put some dots across the face. And then I'm going to take my brush and just gently blend that down. Now the mattifying formula is going to give me a little extra coverage, a little more sun protection because it's going to stay on, be more mattifying, but it's also going to give me a little bit more of a matte finish and a little bit more of a makeup finish, which can be fine. And that's it. Now, if I were using this brush, I would do the same thing. I'd put my makeup on there. I'd put my dots on, and then I would just blend, blend, blend. Now I have larger pores on my nose, so I'm going to go ahead and I just use my finger and just work it right in to make sure I have good coverage on there. Now, when you first finish, you're going to feel like your skin looks maybe a little makeup-y or a little bit powdery. That is the sun spheres in the liquid mineral makeup. Let those sun spheres warm to your skin. Within about 15 minutes, they completely melt in the skin, and then you cannot tell you're wearing any foundation. You just look like you, only better. Illuminare also makes a concealer. I have some clients who will use this concealer as a foundation all over. I don't recommend that for beginners, but if you like a heavier finish, if you like a MAC makeup, and you're really good at applying makeup, you've got some experience, then go ahead and do the same technique using the concealing formula. If you have a blemish that you want to cover up, I love their concealing brush. I actually use these as eyeshadow brushes. I just love this brush. So I'm going to put just a tiny dot on here. I don't really have a blemish this week, unfortunately, to show you. I can take it and put a little bit extra on a dark spot, but I've just got a little bit on my brush. Then I'll just take it in and then just put some dots on there. And then I might take my other little brush, and I'm not going to brush when I want to keep the concealer, when I want to cover up a blemish. You're not going to want to rub. You're going to want to just keep doing these dots and kind of pat it into place. And always conceal after you've done the rest of your face. So that just gives me a little extra finish, little extra coverage in that area. Now the next step is to grab your blush. Now Illuminare is pretty cool. They took their blush colors and they mixed the blush color with your foundation color. So if you wear Portofino porcelain, your Portofino porcelain blush is going to have that foundation color in it as well as the blush color. So it really gives you this really natural look to your skin. The Florentine Fair has the Florentine Fair color in it. So what I mostly used was porcelain. So I'm going to get out my porcelain. When I apply my blush, I'm using one of these flat top brushes. You can see that I have two. One of them on the tip, this is my foundation one. This one is the one that I use for my blush. I'm just going to put a little tiny bit of blush on there, and then I'm just going to tap some dots on my cheek line, and then I'm just using little patting motions, and I'm working that blush just onto the areas where you would naturally get sunburned if you were out in the sun, just where that sun hits you. That's going to give you that healthy glow that you want to have. And now, if you felt like you were too glowy or too shiny, you can use your pad, your fast application pad, and you can come in and you can do a little patting with that. That's going to smooth out your finish even more. But you can see it's very simple to put on using this little dot method. Now, if I felt like, oh, I'm going to be doing a lot of photography today, or I want my skin just to be extra perfect, I could put on a third coat and it would still work just great. I could put some more on a brush, do my little dots, and then blend it on and have even another layer on my skin. The final thing that I do is I set it. And what I like to use to set my makeup is the Sculptra Stem Cell Mist. So I will take that, give a nice spritzing. I love this mist because it goes in and it puts that PLLA into the skin, which really plumps up the skin and just gives you a really glowy, beautiful, plump, natural finish. And now I am just good to go. That's how simple it is. I can remember when I first started with Illuminare and I put too much on and I put it on my face, and being the naturalist that I am, I'd be just like, oh, this color doesn't match. This color is too heavy. This just does not look good at all. And once I developed this method and really learned how to use it, I fell in love with this foundation. So I do want to tell you that when you have to mix two colors together, don't worry about being too perfect, because this foundation really is just works so well into the skin that even if you have the mixture a little bit off, maybe you have a little bit too much of the little darker shade, not enough of the lighter shade, it will still blend beautifully, especially if you're putting on a nice moisturizing sunscreen primer underneath it. It all blends beautifully and it just really adjusts nicely to your skin tone. So that's my tutorial on the Illuminare Liquid Mineral Makeup. Super fun, super easy to use. Once you get the hang of it, you will love it. I hope that if you have any questions, you'll reach out to us at Art of Skincare at our live chat. Any of our estheticians there will be happy to help you. Oftentimes we can just look at a picture of your skin and we can very easily tell you what color that you need to get. Also, we do sell little sample kits. So you can always pick up a little sampler and play with it, mix some colors, and have some fun with that as well. Have a great day.